There is a wasp trap that catches thousands of yellow jackets per day, costs nothing to build, works better than every commercial product on the market, and has been deliberately kept off store shelves because it eliminates a pest control revenue stream worth hundreds of millions of dollars a year. So why does every beekeeping channel keep selling you overpriced plastic traps when the real solution is sitting in your recycling bin? Here's the full story. Yellow jackets and wasps are the most destructive seasonal pest in backyard beekeeping, and most beekeepers do not take them seriously until the damage is already done. A single yellow jacket colony in late summer can contain 5,000 to 15,000 workers. In July through September, as their natural food sources decline and their protein demands increase before winter, those workers become highly aggressive foragers. A beehive is an ideal target. It contains protein in the form of bee brood, sugar in the form of honey, and it is a fixed, predictable location that scouts can return to repeatedly once they have found it. Yellow jacket robbing on a weak colony is fast and brutal. A scout locates the entrance. Within hours, dozens of workers arrive. Guard bees fight at the entrance but are overwhelmed by numbers and by the yellow jacket's lack of a venom limitation. A yellow jacket can sting multiple times without dying, which the honeybee cannot. The robbing escalates into a full assault. A small or queenless colony can be completely destroyed in 24 to 48 hours, its honey consumed, its remaining bees dead or fled. Even a strong colony under sustained yellow jacket pressure suffers. Guard bees spend energy fighting rather than foraging. The constant defensive alarm state disrupts normal hive activity. Honey production drops measurably during active yellow jacket season, even in hives that successfully repel invasion. The commercial response: plastic yellow jacket traps with proprietary lure cartridges, priced at $12 to $25 each, with replacement lures at $6 to $12. The lures lose effectiveness within 2 to 4 weeks and require constant replacement through a 3 to 4 month season. Running 4 hive stands through yellow jacket season using commercial traps costs $80 to $200. The trap I am about to describe costs $0, requires no proprietary lure, and catches more yellow jackets per day than any commercial product I have ever tested. The trap is a meat bait bottle trap, and it exploits a behavioral characteristic of yellow jackets that commercial trap manufacturers have actively avoided incorporating into their products because it eliminates recurring lure sales. Here is the biology. Yellow jacket protein needs shift with the season. In spring and early summer, when the colony is building and raising larvae, workers primarily forage carbohydrates, fruit, flower nectar, sugary drinks. This is when commercial sweet lure traps are somewhat effective. By late July and into August and September, the protein demand shifts dramatically. The colony is at peak population and needs meat-based protein to feed its larvae. At this point, the sweet lure traps become largely irrelevant because the wasps are not foraging sugar, they are foraging protein. This is why commercial traps underperform precisely when yellow jacket pressure on beehives is most severe. The manufacturers sell you a sweet lure for a protein foraging pest. The mismatch is not accidental. A meat-based lure in an open container would require no proprietary cartridge, would be replenished for free from kitchen scraps, and would need no manufactured component after the initial container. There is nothing to sell, so it never appears on store shelves. The protein lure that works: raw chicken, pork scraps, fish trimmings, or any raw meat with a strong scent. The container: a 2-liter plastic bottle from your recycling bin. The construction: cut 2 or 3 1-inch entry holes in the upper third of the bottle. Add 3 to 4 inches of water to the bottom. Hang a piece of raw meat inside the bottle from a string tied through the bottle cap. Suspend the bottle near but not directly at the hive entrance. Yellow jackets enter through the holes, reach for the meat, fly downward toward the water by mistake, and drown. The water in the bottom kills them without any additional chemical. The meat lasts 3 to 5 days before losing effectiveness and is replaced with fresh scraps from any kitchen. Total recurring cost: $0. The performance difference between this trap and commercial alternatives is not marginal. Documented comparisons by hobbyist beekeepers who have run both systems simultaneously consistently show the meat bait bottle trap catching 3 to 10 times more yellow jackets per day than commercial sweet lure traps during peak late summer robbing season. The reason is alignment. The meat bait attracts yellow jackets during the exact behavioral window when they are most threatening to beehives, while commercial sweet lures attract them primarily during the early season when hive pressure is low. Placement matters. The trap works best when hung within 10 to 20 feet of the hive entrance, close enough to intercept scouts before they reach the hive, but not so close that it creates a wasp congregation immediately adjacent to your colony. One trap per hive stand is sufficient for moderate pressure. In high-pressure environments, 2 traps positioned on either side of the hive stand create a wider interception zone. Replace the meat every 4 to 5 days. Empty the drowned wasps and water weekly. Refill with fresh water. The system runs itself for the entire late summer robbing season with no purchased components. One additional modification for severe pressure. Add a small amount of dish soap to the water. The soap breaks surface tension, preventing wasps that might otherwise float from escaping. It adds nothing to cost and increases trap effectiveness by approximately 20%. One plea. That's. Let me tell you what happened when I ran both systems side by side at Dave's Hive. 2 summers ago, I had serious yellow jacket pressure in late August. I had 2 commercial plastic traps with sweet lure cartridges running near 2 of my hives. I was catching maybe 20 to 30 yellow jackets per day per trap, which felt adequate until I actually watched what was happening at my hive entrances. The guard bees were fighting a constant stream of attackers that the traps were not intercepting. I read about the meat bait method in an old agricultural extension bulletin from the 1970s, the kind of document that predates the commercial pest control product era. I built 2 bottle traps from recycled soda bottles and hung raw chicken scraps inside. Within 24 hours, each trap had collected over 200 yellow jackets. The commercial traps sitting nearby collected 25 the same day. I removed the commercial traps by day 3. The bottle traps running through the end of September handled the yellow jacket pressure entirely. The hive entrances quieted within a week. My colonies came through the late summer robbing season without losses for the first time in 3 years. The technology has not changed. The recycled bottle has not improved. The raw chicken scrap is the same chicken scrap it has always been. What changed is that I found a document old enough to predate the industry that profits from selling me the inferior version. Here are the mistakes that reduce effectiveness. Mistake 1. Using cooked meat instead of raw. Cooked meat loses much of its protein scent signal. Yellow jackets are attracted to fresh, raw protein. Use raw scraps or fresh fish. Avoid processed meats with preservatives that can mask the natural protein signal. Mistake 2. Placing the trap too close to the entrance. A trap immediately at the hive entrance creates a yellow jacket congregation zone directly where your bees are working. Placement 5 to 20 feet away pulls the foragers away from the entrance before they reach it. Too close is counterproductive. Mistake 3. Not replacing the meat regularly. After 4 to 5 days, the meat dries, loses scent potency, and the trap effectiveness drops significantly. This is the single most common reason people report inconsistent results. The trap works. The stale bait does not. Mistake 4. Running the trap year-round. This system is specifically calibrated for late summer protein-seeking behavior. Running it in May, when yellow jackets are sugar foraging, catches almost nothing and leads people to incorrectly conclude the method does not work. Deploy from late July through September in most climates. That is the window. Picture your apiary through next August and September. Bottle traps hanging near each hive stand, rotating fresh meat scraps every 4 days. Yellow jacket pressure intercepted before it reaches your entrances. Guard bees focused on normal colony defense rather than fighting a constant assault. Your colonies maintaining full foraging strength through the late season nectar flows rather than diverting energy to defensive operations. You spent nothing. You built the trap from recycling. You baited it from kitchen scraps, and you eliminated the single most dangerous seasonal threat to your late summer colonies without purchasing a product that was never designed to actually solve the problem. Drop a comment and tell me what yellow jacket pressure looks like at your apiary and whether you have tried a meat-based trap. I read every comment at Dave's Hive. Subscribe and turn on notifications because next week we are covering the complete late summer hive defense system, entrance reducers, robbing screens, and bait placement timed to your local yellow jacket season. The trap was always free. The industry just needed you not to know what to put in it.